Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy Dez Reacts back with another reaction video, and this is when Britain nuked America not once but twice. And this was a recommended video, and I'm very interested in seeing what this is about because I never heard of it, but I'm sure it's something crazy. So please smash that like button, leave a comment on what you guys think I should react to next, or just your thoughts on this video, and please hit that subscribe button, the notification bell. And yeah, with no further ado, we're gonna get right up into it. Hope you guys are having a great week, and really appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. And with no further ado, let's get to it.
In the 1960s, Great Britain nuked the United States not once, but twice.
I promise you I didn't watch this video, so I did not know he was gonna be like, but once, not once, but twice. I had no clue that was coming, so that's crazy.
Fortunately for all concerned, the attacks were only training exercises, but so embarrassing were these attacks that they were hidden from the American public for about 50 years, as well as being strenuously denied to the American press for decades. As far as America was concerned, its defenses were 99% effective, but in simulated attacks, Royal Air Force bombers managed to penetrate US airspace to launch nuclear attacks on New York City and several other important urban centers. Before I tell you how, a word from our sponsor.
So I already know this is about to be crazy. They're able to bomb New York City. Like, that's like our biggest, one of our biggest cities. So that's pretty insane.
The Vulcan first flew in 1952. The team that created it, led by Roy Chadwick, who had designed the famous Lancaster heavy bomber of World War II. A jet-powered, tailless, delta-wing, high-altitude strategic bomber, the Vulcan was the backbone of Britain's nuclear airborne deterrent during most of the Cold War, serving from 1956 until retirement in 1984.
About 30 years of service for that plane, but that jet looks sick though, I ain't gonna lie.
This is the story of Exercise Sky Shield, when Britain nuked its closest ally, exposing how the Soviet Union could have done the same for real. In 1960, the United States decided to run the largest test of its air defenses in history. Exercise Sky Shield 1 occurred on the 10th of September 1960, and all commercial air traffic over the US and Canada was grounded, amounting to 1,000 US commercial flights and 700 general aviation aircraft, plus a further 31 foreign flights due to land in North America. The US Strategic Air Command would launch B-52 Stratofortresses and B-47 Stratojets to simulate a massive Soviet nuclear bomber force approaching North America from north and south.
Wow, so this is the largest scale of air defense systems that we probably have ever done, and all the commercial domestic air flights and stuff was grounded, so their radars and stuff are only going to pick up on military craft. So this is going to be interesting, and looks like they're simulating a massive like nuclear bomb run that Russia might do. So I can't wait to see what the British do.
360 US interceptor aircraft stood ready to defeat these enemy aircraft, which numbered 310. Among those 310 aircraft were 8 Royal Air Force Vulcan B-2 nuclear bombers. A flight of 4 flew from Scotland, while the other 4 launched from the British territory of Bermuda in the Atlantic Ocean. The American plan was to detect these enemy bombers by radar and other early warning systems, and then they would be intercepted and destroyed in simulated attacks by US jet fighters and missile batteries. The attacking bombers split their attacks between high and low altitude. The defending fighters did very well against the stratojets and stratofortresses, intercepting many of them, but the Vulcans proved more elusive opponents. The Vulcan flew at the highest altitude of the simulated Soviet bombers, cruising at 56,000 feet. One was successfully intercepted at this altitude over Goose Bay, Labrador, by a United States Air Force F-101 Voodoo, but the other 7 Vulcans all managed to penetrate American airspace to launch simulated bombing attacks on U.S. cities. They then turned around and landed at Stephenville, Newfoundland.
Wow. So just imagine how high 56,000 feet is. Most of your guys' commercial airplanes and stuff only fly about like 36,000 feet cruising altitude. So that's insane for real. So they're like double that height almost, and they would still successfully hit their targets. So that is embarrassing for the US, because we claim to have the best, 99.9% success, rate, but obviously British had new technology that our radars couldn't really detect that well. And I mean, it's a really good thing that they did this test, because then, they figured out how to not let this happen again.
The question was, how had the Vulcan managed it? The answer was their highly advanced electronic countermeasures systems and the Vulcan's amazing maneuverability. For example, the flight of 4 aircraft that approached from Bermuda were successful because 3 of them put up a wall of electronic interference that prevented interception, while the 4th Vulcan carried out a simulated nuclear strike. This was all rather embarrassing for Strategic Air Command, which quickly buried all stories about British bombers having nuked US targets and confidently assured the American public that US air defenses were, as I said, 99% effective. However,
lying to the people, man.
The following year, the Americans invited the RAF to take part in Exercise Sky Shield 2. Perhaps the US AF was determined to show that the Vulcan's previous success was only a fluke, a one-time only event. Sky Shield 2, which occurred on the 14th of August 1961, was an even bigger event than the first one. It caused 2,900 US and Canadian flights to be grounded, affecting 125,000 commercial passengers.
Oh, I know they were hot that they couldn't fly home. How mad would you be if, you coming back from vacation or something, you're tired, fatigued, just want to get home, or you're going to a vacation or something like that, and there's like, yeah, you guys are going to be grounded for a few hours, probably more than a few hours, probably like half a day, like crazy.
During the exercise, 120.
And imagine how scared the people were, like the citizens that were just watching bombers fly over them, not knowing what was going on, you know what I mean?
5 US and British bombers would be pitted against 1,800 fighters and 250 missile sites, and over 200,000 Air Force personnel from the US and Canada.
It's a big plane. Yeah, B-52.
Coming up on 16.5 seconds. Now, continuing. Yep, and I'm straight. Ready, now. 3 trip hard here. Come up. 6 up, standing by flaps.
Again, 8 Vulcan B-2s participated, split again into 2 flights. One attacking on the northern route from RAF Lossiemouth in Scotland via Canada, and the other 4 aircraft on a southerly route from Kindley Air Force Base, Bermuda. The B-47 Stratojets simulated low-level Soviet bombers. The B-52s would attack between 35,000 and 42,000 feet, while the Vulcans again operated at the highest altitude, 56,000 feet.
That's crazy.
At the massive NORAD, or North American Air Defense Bunker at Colorado Springs, the U.S. top brass was joined by the RAF's Air Marshal Sir Kenneth Cross of Bomber Command and Sir Wallace Kyle, Chief of the RAF Technical Training Command, to monitor the exercise. Just before 2 p.m., U.S. interceptors pounced on the B-52s, approaching at the mid to high altitude level. The Vulcans also came in from the north, and again, due to the Vulcans' high-tech jamming equipment, only one was shot down by an F-101 Voodoo fighter.
Wow.
In fact, large numbers of U.S. fighters were scrambled, but they concentrated almost exclusively on the B-52s. When the Vulcans came over, the interceptors did not have sufficient fuel remaining to climb to 56,000 feet plus and engage them. The surviving 3 Vulcans conducted their attacks successfully, turned around and landed at Stephenville, Newfoundland. The southern attack force of 4 Vulcans from Bermuda reached a position 50 miles off the U.S. coast before fighters were scrambled to intercept. Again, 3 of the Vulcans unleashed an electronic jamming screen that kept the attacking F-102 Delta daggers busy, while the 4th aircraft crept round to the north and sneaked through.
Wow, that's actually pretty crazy that 3 of them were able to successfully drop their nukes, and then they were able to turn around, and only one of them that turned around was caught by, the fighter jets when it was already 50 miles off the ocean. They chased it down and shot it. But yeah, that's insane.
This Vulcan proceeded to land at Plattsburgh Air Force Base in New York. If this had been a real attack, New York City could have been reduced to a smoking, irradiated hole in the ground. Many of the Stratojets and Stratofortresses had also managed to evade interception and launch simulated nuclear attacks, but not at the kind of success rate that the Vulcans enjoyed. In 2 massive exercises of 8 Vulcans that attacked on each occasion, 7 had got through to their targets, an astounding survival rate against the huge might of the U.S. air defenses.
Wow. That's impressive.
The Vulcans showed that with the right aircraft, America could be laid wide open to a nation-ending assault, something which the Soviet Union would have been very interested in. Fortunately for all concerned, the relationship between Britain and the United States never changed from special to decidedly antagonistic, and the Vulcans never came in anger. The American government also tried to make damn sure that nobody ever found out about the Vulcans nuking American cities.
I didn't know.
The U.S. Air Force was very quick to deny rumors that RAF planes had once again successfully penetrated U.S. airspace. In fact, the U.S. government went so far as to classify all references to Vulcans included in the Sky Shield exercises.
See, yeah, that makes sense, though, because, we're going into a point, this is about 20 years after World War II, but we're entering the Cold War, because this is like, around Vietnam and stuff. Like, we're entering the Cold War, you know what I mean? Like, our tensions with Russia still to this day are just awful. So it's like, it's a good thing that they didn't know about it, because we might have got nuked. And man,
after all, if the RAF could practice nuke New York City, Washington, D.C., and even Chicago, the Soviets could do the same.
All of our biggest cities.
They could develop an aircraft as good as the Vulcan. As far as Strategic Air Command was concerned, the Vulcan episodes had never happened, and the U.S. was well protected, and that protection, as I said, 99% effective. The Vulcans' successful attacks on America were only fully declassified in 1997, long after the Vulcan had left British service.
He's a beast.
Many thanks for watching. Please subscribe.
Wow, man, yeah, so that was a very interesting video. I had no clue about that, honestly, and yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts and comments. Like, what do you think? Do you think they still do tests today without, letting us know? Or do you think our, America's systems are just that good now where they don't really need to try? And do Did like USA ever do any operations like that for British, or for Britain, so that you guys could have your guys' airspaces protected in practice runs? Let me know in the comments. I want to know that. Please smash that like button, hit that sub button. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.